There is not just one Mindanao. In fact, there are three. The first Mindanao is that of the more developed regions and fast urbanizing cities such as Davao, Cagayan de Oro, and General Santos. The second Mindanao is that of the poorest provinces in the entire country, such as Sulu, Tawi-Tawi, Lanao del Sur, and Basilan. And the third Mindanao is that of the women, who play multiple roles but rarely get support and recognition for their contributions. Nationally, Mindanao is known for its cultural diversity. 20% of its population is composed of Islamized Moro peoples, the Bangsamoro. 6% are indigenous peoples. This diversity is the source of its cultural wealth. But the history of colonialism and inequitable government policies has pitted one group against the other, not only for land and other resources, but also for power. War and conflict have been the result.
Believing that Mindanao needed leadership for the creation of a just, peaceful, prosperous, and socially cohesive society, Muslim, Christian, and Lumad women leaders gathered in Davao City in December 2001 and established the Mindanao Commission on Women. From the start, the Mindanao Commission on Women insisted that it would pursue not a women's agenda, but a Mindanao agenda from a women's perspective. It embarked on its mission to influence public policy and public opinion so women would participate in and fully benefit from peace and development in Mindanao. What bound the women together were enduring values like passion for service, respect for all creation, integrity in their actions, peace and harmony with self, others, and nature. And they identified their big and audacious goal: to be the leading organization to enable women to move and shake society. Women's empowerment is at the core of the Commission's work.
The Commission is composed of 25 women leaders. 12 represent the 6 regions of Mindanao. 13 are commissioners at large. MCW's 3 strategic areas of concern are peace and multiculturalism, poverty reduction, and politics and governance. In each of the 6 regions, regional thematic networks are formed for each program area. Area core groups are organized, whose task is to conceive and implement regional programs. The Mothers for Peace movement forms the mass base of the Mindanao Commission on Women. The Mothers for Peace started as a campaign in 2003 to demand a ceasefire between Philippine Armed Forces and the MILF after the bombing of Bulyok. The campaign was launched at the Cultural Center of the Philippines, and consequent roadshows were conducted in Luzon and Visayas in order to make peace in Mindanao a national concern. The roadshows drew wide media attention. When the Advertising Foundation of the Philippines adopted the campaign, several radio and TV networks and national daily newspapers were mobilized to support the campaign. The award-winning 45-second TV ad created by TBWA Santiago Mangada Puno Ad Agency was played for free by national television networks. Radio ads were likewise produced and aired for free in national and local radio stations.
Lalantahin ang araw, lulunurin ang unos, ang marupok kong buhay.
In 2006, Mothers for Peace transformed itself into a movement and started the creation of peace circles. Peace circles are composed of 7 to 25 women, guided by a credo and basic principles.
I am steadfast
in working with others,
in working with others,
in creating a better world for all.
in creating a better world for all.
I reject all forms of violence.
I reject all forms of violence.
I am a mother for peace.
A mother for peace.
Peace circles hope to develop peacemaking skills and change value systems among its members, and develop programs towards food security as a basis for conflict prevention. Mothers for Peace hopes to set up a fund to support the program on food security. Fundraising for the Mothers for Peace Fund is ongoing from various donors, income-generating activities of the Peace Circles, and support generated through the Mothers for Peace website. Under its Peace and Multiculturalism program, the MCW ensures that indigenous and Moro women speak with their own voice. The following projects and activities have been conducted under the program. Vital engagement with the GRP-MILF peace process through a project entitled If Women Negotiated the Peace Agreement. The project, supported by the German Technical Cooperation, or GTZ, and Australian Agency for International Development, or AusAid, held 8 consultations in conflict-affected areas. The consultations enabled the writing of a comprehensive position paper presented at the Mindanao Women's Peace Summit. Secretary Silvestre Afable of the GRP Peace Panel and Attorney Lanang Ali of the MILF received the position paper for their respective panels. MCW has also successfully lobbied for women's representation in the GRP Peace Panel. Sylvia Okinlay Paraguya, MCW Vice Chair for Peace and Multiculturalism, is currently the only female member of the GRP Peace Panel. Trainings on peacemaking and mediation are ongoing. Women leaders learn third-sider, mediation, and inner work skills, which they put to use in family, work, and community conflicts. MCW also facilitates community dialogues, where women trainers go to peace and development communities, or PDCs, to conduct dialogue among community members with varying political and cultural backgrounds. The community identifies what connects their various groups so that these connections are strengthened and the dividers minimized. MCW also tries to learn from the experiences of women in other countries in the aftermath of war. Mindanao women leaders met with those from Kampuchea, Papua New Guinea, Sri Lanka, and Timor-Leste in a conference on gender issues in post-peace agreement scenarios. MCW has been a staunch campaigner for multiculturalism, where Mindanao's diversity is the source of its strength rather than the source of conflict. MCW hosted the launching in Mindanao of the UNDP Human Development Report entitled Cultural Liberty in Today's Diverse World. Australian Ambassador Ruth Pearce and United Nations Resident Coordinator Deborah Landy were special guests at the occasion. To deepen their knowledge of multiculturalism, MCW went on a study tour on multiculturalism and the peace agenda in Australia under the Philippine-Australia Short-Term Training Facility. Participants in the study tour were MCW commissioners and network members. For the Mindanao Week of Peace 2007, MCW and Mothers for Peace sponsored the first peace songwriting contest called Global Cooling. Female songwriters were given the chance to get recognition for their compositions. The compositions of the 10 finalists have been collected into a CD. GTZ and the National Commission on Culture and the Arts supported the contest. MCW believes that collectively, women can be a strong force to make politics and governance responsive and transparent. Under its program for politics and governance, MCW has implemented the following projects and activities: advocacy and capability building for local government units, gender and development programs and budget, trainings on women's public leadership, and conferences and trainings for young women leaders that led to the formation of the Mindanao Young Women Leaders Forum. MCW commissioners are among the leaders who formed the Caucus of Women Political Leaders. The caucus conducts trainings for women candidates for public office. Local MCW leaders have been involved in ensuring clean and credible elections, as in Iligan City and Cotabato City. Under its poverty reduction program, the MCW focuses on the triple concerns identified in the UNDP Human Development Report on Poverty Reduction: health, education, and income. Its major strategy for reducing poverty is to invest in women and girls' health and education and in women's livelihood. MCW is piloting 2 poverty reduction projects: the Mothers for Peace One-Stop Shop, or M4P stores, and the Gardens of Peace, or G4P, which produces Go, Grow, and Glow vegetables and is supported by Pagkain sa Masa at the University of Southern Mindanao. Throughout its existence, the MCW has developed partnerships with individuals, groups, and institutions that have supported its programs. MCW commissioned the first ever nationwide survey on women's participation in peace, governance, and development. The survey was conducted in partnership with the preeminent polling organization, Social Weather Stations. The results of the survey were integrated into MCW's State of the Women of Mindanao report, which was presented at the Congress of the Philippines. As part of its overarching program entitled Another Mindanao is Possible, MCW gathered Mindanao's best political, academic, civil society, and religious leaders in 2005 to facilitate informed debates on Mindanao's current and future capacity and adaptability. The gathering led to the formation of Mindanao Rising, a multi-sectoral campaign body that would plan, strategize, and implement ways to stabilize and advance Mindanao's economic, social, and political future. Mindanao Rising's first project is directed at creating sustainable and responsible investments. MCW's project partner is the Mindanao Business Council.
We are practically sleeping on a wealth that is more than sufficient to carry the economy of the country forward to the next generation.
MCW holds an annual women's conference dubbed Kamindanawan to gather women from all over Mindanao around a common theme and to plan and strategize women's involvement in Mindanao's development. Kamindanawan 2004 had for its theme Women Moving a Mindanao Agenda. Kamindanawan 2005 carried the theme Another Mindanao is Possible. Kamindanawan 2006 was a summit on peace dubbed Mindanao Women's Peace Summit, if women negotiated the peace agreement.
MCW continues to build on the gains of the past 7 years, and with the support of AusAid, looks forward to undertaking concrete activities under its program called Another Mindanao is Possible. 13 area core groups have been formed all over Mindanao in order to expand MCW's ability to respond to local issues as well as to Mindanao-wide concerns. It will also broaden decision-making and ensure sustainability. Peace circles among the youth and the Mothers for Peace will expand our grassroots base. We will continue engaging the GRP and MILF peace panels in our major advocacies for women's leadership and participation in the decision-making structures of a future Bangsamoro juridical entity. We will also initiate new programs to combat violence against women and deadly clan vendettas, or RIDO. With the Caucus of Women Political Leaders, we will continue recruiting and training women for political leadership. Our campaign called Mindanao Rising will enable us to work with opinion leaders and decision makers of Mindanao from government, business, academe, Moro and indigenous peoples groups, civil society, and religious organizations in building a Mindanao that is peaceful and prosperous. The Mothers for Peace Fund will be established. With an initial investment of 5 million pesos, it shall support innovative and catalytic projects that will ensure food security for poor families, especially in conflict-affected areas. During the Mindanao Week of Peace in November, MCW shall undertake the Million Taps for Peace campaign. TAPS stands for Thoughts and Acts of Peace. It aims to involve as many people as possible in the campaign for nationwide and global peace by sharing minutes of peace through silent prayer as well as doing acts of peace. The annual gathering of women of Mindanao in Kamindanaoan will again be held as a major networking event. MCW will continue its collaboration with KATIG, the Kahayag Training Institute on Gender, MCW's training arm. Courses on gendered governance, gender and peace, women's leadership directed particularly among young women, and gender mainstreaming in projects will be conducted. MCW will put out a report on the state of the women of Mindanao, which has become an important source of data and statistics on the situation of women. MCW currently heads the Technical Working Group of AHEM, the Anti-Corruption Network. To strengthen the impact of AHEM's work, area core groups will undergo continuous training to conduct anti-corruption campaigns at the local level.
The Mindanao Commission on Women was established to harness the collective strength of women to influence public policy and public opinion. That collective strength continues to grow so that women get their fair share of recognition, resources, and voice toward the creation of a truly democratic, free, and peaceful society.
Harapin ang bukas ng may pagpapasya, kababaihan, makapangyarihan. Women from all walks of life, rise, be known. Your seed of goodness is waiting to be sown. Awaken to the call to all womankind. Your time has come to sever the bind.